keeping it fresh, tune by tune.
Stop us.
Zest Radio.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the
Where
second
flavor
episode of Zest
matters.
Radio, where we are flavor-oriented, and I am here on Music Row with an artist that is named one of the best underground bass producers we have in the scene. And please welcome the one, the only, Corey BROKAW.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Wonderful to be here. Yeah, we're going to be using these sound effects a whole lot during this time.
A whole lot. Guys, this is a special episode. I haven't seen my good friend, Mr. Corey, here in a long time, honestly.
Been 2 years?
I don't know. Do I still look the same?
You look the same.
You do too, man. You look great.
Thank you.
How have you been?
I've been great. Just finding balance in life.
Always.
Between being a father, being a music producer, playing gigs, training, doing martial arts, and skateboarding. Those are like my revolving doors.
Your priorities.
Right,
yes. I mean, that sounds like a good plan, and to me, honestly.
I'm an obsessive person. So, like, I used to be very bad about just honing in on something really hard. And when that thing goes good, I'm on top of the world. And when that thing doesn't go good, I am in a slump. But now I have other things that I can be like, oh, I'm not feeling this. I'm going to go hit the skate park real quick. And it's nice.
Love that. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually what I'm doing right now with Zest Radio. So, guys, Zest Radio was created in a supportive response to a collective in the scene that is called Spicy Boys, and they don't necessarily put women on. We love them, but we want to come together in a more fruitful way. And I'm happy to have you here today to kind of help support the message that the connection is among everybody.
Yeah, get everyone up in there.
Everybody up in there,
Yeah.
you know? But honestly, the way that you build the bass is kind of insane.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and I've been nonstop listening to your stuff, and honestly, I hope I pronounce it right.
Let's hear it.
Is it debutante?
Oh, Dabatunde.
Dabatunde.
Honestly, I don't know how to pronounce it.
I love that.
It was a sample that I used. It was the vocal sample from a guy named Vellum, and I'm just like, well, it kind of sounds like Babatunde, the old Peekaboo song.
Wow.
And
yeah.
I don't think that's even what Vellum was trying to say, but I'm just like, that's like
That's what you were trying to say.
Babatunde, but Dabatunde. So that's what I call it. I call it Dabatunde.
I love it, man.
But yeah,
And-
that was a really interesting song for me because like I put so much emotion behind that. Wrote most of that song in a day. Probably just spent 9 hours at the computer just building that song from scratch, going to YouTube and finding like real samples of like real dark stuff and using them as soundscapes. And yeah, it was just a story pretty much of like, you know, you get on these like negative thought loops sometime. You're like, what if I died? What if this happened? And then it's such a crazy thing to think in your head. And then you just let it go.
Until
like,
it happens.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I probably should never think about that again. Like, what am I doing? But in that moment, instead of like doing that, I'm just like, what would it be like? And then so I just kind of like created a story of like, what if I was like in a hospital room, like in my last days, and like you can hear like crying in the beginning, like of the song. Like it is a very dark song, and the way it, and then I had
journey, and I love it.
I had Songbird visuals on the visuals, and he captured the video of that so well too.
The visuals were insane.
Thank you. Yeah,
It hit
I
me
get chills.
So
I'm
hard.
like, oh.
Yes, man. Ooh.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
the good
Even my
things.
dad was like, man.
You know, when dad says it's good, that's when you know.
Right,
That's when
exactly,
you know, right?
exactly.
Yeah, I especially after, you know, the car wreck last year and things like that, actually being in the hospital and doing all of those things, hearing those sounds, and then the way you put the melody with it was actually like so heartwarming for me.
Thank you.
And like I hope that, you know, like people can take sounds that they don't normally, or maybe can trigger them into emotion, and that can actually bring a better emotion with it almost, or maybe attach a different memory with it, or, you know, and create a more positive thing out of it.
I put real life sounds from my life all the time in my songs. Like I have my 4 a.m. bootleg. No One Else has my son's voice in there all over the place.
Shout out Aries.
Shout out Aries. I got ex-girlfriends snuck into songs and spots like of just like old memories where like it'll say something and you'll just like hear her laugh like in the back, and it's just like no one really knows and she doesn't even know.
Was it just Thought I'd Call or
So the ex-girlfriend song, I think she's in Brothers, and then she's in another one. Oh, she's in my I probably shouldn't talk about them now, but my Marvin's Room remix by Drake. It's an exclusive on Bandcamp. But yeah, I snuck her in that one too.
Good.
And like, me and her are still like super cool, but her laugh and voice is just really nice for songs. And I ended up like mentioning it to her. I'm like, hey, by the way, like, oh, you're cool with it, but I did like sneak you in a couple songs. She's like, I think that's so sweet. But I'm like, like Ari's voice is super good for music. I have my dad's laugh in a song. I have like, just different stuff that when I hear it, I'm just like, ugh.
I feel you. I capture birds like from the park or a
Yes.
dog's bark. I actually had a dog pass that I still have in this meditation remix that just brings me back to like going on walks with him and things like that. So I
Yeah.
actually love that you captured the realness of life in your music, in your journey, and it's continuing to grow. You're actually named one of the best underground producers that we have in 2024. How do you feel about that?
I don't agree.
I agree.
Thanks.
I agree.
I think underground is such a hard thing to define. Like, because if you go look it up, because after I saw that, I'm like, I don't think so. But I looked up the definition and I was like,
You're humble.
it was like, so there's I guess it means if you're not on the radio or signed to a label. And I'm like, okay, well, I know tons of people that are better than me that are not like that. But then there's also what probably we consider more underground, which is like 5,000 followers and under. And I could still find like, and I just admire like so many people. Like, so I can find a lot of people that I look up to that I'm just like, I can't do what they're doing. And so I just really like, yeah, I definitely think I have the potential to be one of the best. I don't think I'm there yet. Like, I'm still very green. I've only started producing like 3 years ago, and I've been going really hard with it. But there are still just so many people.
So many things to learn, too,
Yeah,
right?
constantly.
Yeah.
And there's just always like the next guy. I'm just like, Jesus, like,
I know.
making
How
me
did
like,
you do that?
yeah, it's like I need to step it up.
Another worldly sound. It's like that came from outer space, like an alien. Like, like you
Yeah.
discovered gold for the first time. Like, holy shit!
Yeah, you
man.
see these young kids, like I'll give him a shout out. Liquid L, that dude blows me away.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know how old he is. He ain't old enough to drink. He's like probably 19, 20 years old. I listen to his stuff and I'm just like, holy crap!
All
like,
right, Liquid L,
yeah,
see,
the dude's
I
killing
see.
it, man. Check him out if you get a chance.
All
but
right, I
yeah, the
like
dude's
that.
dope. But yeah, there's always just people that like, he just pushed me to be better. But no, that status that I saw from Deep State, it was like super cool because I think they're responding to my war dub, which honestly I was super insecure about. But I guess with the war dubs, you got to make them in 24 hours and then like put them out. And I'm just like, this isn't what I want it to be, but
I think the best comes in that
it does.
that
but
rotation. It's
I just
hard.
was so busy at the time. My car broke down, and
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't have the motivation. But no, it still resonated with a few people, and that's what resonated with him to make that post on the Deep State page. And I'm like, man, that means a whole lot. Like,
Yeah, I was like, finally, somebody gets it.
hey, thank you.
I love that you say, we speak on the underground stuff and what makes you underground or if you're signed to a label or you're not. But I really don't think that it should be categorized in any way, right? I mean, it's weird because it is. But for you, say, do you think like signing to a label is something that you're looking for? Or do you think you would rather go just by yourself, rock it through, handle everything?
Yeah, I'm probably independent to a fault. Like, there are people that definitely could have helped grow me faster and push my name out more. And I'm such a control freak.
Me
I want to
too.
be in control so bad. And so labels, managers, again, it's to a fault. Like, I know that I should probably, because I think you got to be humble enough to know that you need help. Still working on that part.
Same.
But like,
Every day.
yeah, I just can't do it. I'm just like, man, I want full control of the visual aspect. I want full control of the art. I want to hire who I want to hire. Because I have friends who was like, oh, I got signed to this label. And they're like, look at the art they're making me use. And I'm just like, man, I'm like, the art you had was way better.
Right,
Like,
right. That's actually the same way with us. That's why we haven't signed with anyone because we
independent.
feel, yeah, we feel like the control thing is just a little bit. Yes, we understand you're hitting a market, but also I think there's some label your own sound, and like you are an authentic sound, and I want you to be proud of that
Thank
because
you.
you are on your way to discovering a whole new realm of upgrades, right? Like your sound constantly evolves. You
Hmm.
constantly evolve. We're all growing every day. And you're actually going state to state playing shows. You're getting more and more out there. So it's just really nice to see the kind of the mountain you're building.
Ever since 404, we've just been out
Oh,
here.
you said it, not
Yeah.
me.
No, dude, what a time that was. That was just me being a young. I didn't even start producing music at that time, and I was just a young, hungry DJ, just reaching out to everyone I could. And I'm like, Paulo Ventura. I reached out to him, and that
Our
dude.
next guest, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
nice, man. That dude is a sweetheart of a human, and man, he put me on. I put everything into that set. And then I met you, and you were so humble and nervous before the set, and you went by Magic at the
Yeah.
time. And man, you went out there and played this crazy, like, reggae set, and I'm just like, this girl vibes. And yeah, we both crushed that
You.
night.
Yeah,
Like,
that was a hype
it
night,
was so
man.
good.
We used to break the walls down out of that
Yeah, dude,
place.
that spot was so cool.
Yeah,
And
it
then we
was.
played there a couple more times, and it kind of like lost popularity a little bit, but
We're bringing it back.
we,
We'll
we,
come back.
we gotta bring it back.
Yeah, we gotta bring it
We gotta
back.
bring it back because it was such a vibe there for sure.
I love that. So, was that your first show in Nashville, or can you tell me about your first show in Nashville?
I think that may have been my first show in Nashville. I'm trying to think. I think that was, yeah.
Yeah, all the homies.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody.
You know, Paulo put me on too, and Sickish,
Oh, that's
and
dope.
the Interspace
That's
Festival was what
Sickish?
Sickish threw, and
I played the after party for that.
you
Yeah, that was cool.
all in this.
Yeah, dude, let's go. Hold on.
Oh,
No, I was a fan of Sickish before we even met. Like, he made a T.I. remix, and I was the DJ, and I was like, yo, like, can I get the download for this? And then he just sent it to, or I asked him if I could buy it, and he just sent it to me. And then I always followed his stuff. And he's had a very unique look. He has, like, the colored mohawk
love
and
him.
stuff. Yeah, he's a beautiful human.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw him at the bar, and I'm just like, are you Sickish? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, bro, remember me? You sent me the T.I. remix? And he's just like, I think. Like, he wasn't 100% sure. But then I played a pretty good set that night. And then afterwards, he just gave me my ups. And then ever since then, he's
Then
been
he remembered you,
rocking
right?
me. I hope so. After that, man, he's become one of my best friends. Like,
Yeah.
that dude is so cool. And, man, I love people like that are just so willing to put other people on.
I know.
Like, he's always just shouting people out and giving, like, the young guys love, where it's not always like that. Like,
It's not, yeah, and that's where I want to spotlight that because I'm so grateful for them and people like that constantly give opportunities for people. Like I'm from a very small town in Alabama, and when I came here, how it happened too was my friend, we were in a Lyft driver or an Uber or something, and she was like, put this song on, and it happened to be one of Soundhaven's people.
oh, yeah.
And they played it, and they were like, "Oh, let's connect you around town." right?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Whoa, there's a scene.
Right. Like, what
There's
is
an
this?
underground tunnel
It's so
to
cool.
the rainbow."
Yeah. Like, can I get involved?
Yeah, and it actually blew my mind because I have always struggled with bullying and things growing up, and like really had problems with where I fit in, right? Especially in my sound too. And I'm very cinematic too. I like to play with different things. I'm actually trying to go for like music and movies and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's really cool for people to actually just hear something and be like, you know what? I think you would be a great connection over here, and this
Yeah.
and vice versa. And that's actually what happened the first time that I met you. And I was like, yo, thank you for being so nice to me.
Yeah.
Like, you are so, and people don't really realize, like, it's really, yes, it's intimidating to perform. Yes, it's intimidating to produce, but it's also like when you connect with these people and you expect them to, like, they're protective over their game, right?
Yeah,
Or,
for sure. Everyone's got an ego.
feeds their family,
Yeah.
and it's really remarkable when those people show up with the open arms and they're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
let me help you." It can
Well,
open new doors.
we're always on the, like, I always feel like when I'm playing on a show with someone, a lot of people are like, yo, I gotta like kill it tonight. But also, in the same respect, like, we're all on the same team. We're here to curate this night together. Like,
Right.
I am trying to have the best set for me possible, but I'm not trying to have like a better set than everyone else. If ideally everyone has their own crazy set that everyone's like, oh, another one, another
Another
one.
one?
It's like it just keeps going, and like yeah, it's just perfect, man. Like I love when everyone just has their own vibe, everyone kills it, and you leave that night like, man, everyone crushed, and that's why your sound was really unique. Like you played something like you played a set like I never heard before, where you just went super into the reggae. You weren't trying to go hard, but when you did go hard, it just sounded so big. Because the other times you were vibing, and I'm just like, yes, like this is it. And my cousin was all about you too. He's like,
It
yo,
blows my mind.
this girl,
That was
like,
like one of my first shows too, and I was still finding out where I was, right?
hmm
If it was up to me, I'd probably be a reggae artist full time.
yeah,
I'm still playing with that too. Let me tell you.
for sure, for sure.
I actually I'm not one to discriminate against the genres. I love all of them, and I think I'm going to come out with an album that's like rock and reggae,
Yeah,
just a different song for a different style. But um, at that time, though, like we're saying, I was mixing this and doing that, and I look up to you guys though, because what I felt like when I think Apex and known Fear too, Brian,
yep.
he was there. They hop up there and they're like,
They go ham.
they go
Yeah,
ham. And I'm
yeah,
like,
they go hard.
my tail was stuck between my legs. I'm like, I have to get up there after that. This is my first show, and I'm
Yeah,
just this little Alabama baby.
right.
And so I tried to show up, and I'm really happy that you vibed with it, because after you actually took away the crowd and blew them away,
Oh,
and I
thank
was
you.
like, thank the
Yeah. I think there's room for everybody. Like there are like people that discriminate. They're like, I go so hard, screw all these other people. But then there's also these artists that just know like this is my lane. Like, this heavy dubstep is kind of derived from heavy metal and like these heavy kicks and heavy
heavy
snares and
hitters.
aggressive sound. And there's people that grew up on heavy metal that love that stuff. Just like there's people that grew up on Bob Marley that watch your set are just like, this is it. And then I don't even know what my sound would be, but like the people that like listen to me are like, yeah, I really like this. So like, yeah, I like that everyone kind of has their own lane. And I like when people are open minded and just like, this ain't for me, but good stuff.
Good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Just support.
Yeah.
Just love. Much love always,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Right.
So let's take things back
All
even
right.
further than that. Where did your passion originate?
Okay, let's see. So I was in bands growing up in high school. I played guitar.
Amazing.
I played drums. Probably drums is what I was best at. I played keyboard, but only in where I would like learn songs that I liked. I wasn't
Okay.
good or anything. But then my dad bought me a 4-track like tape mixer where like you could just put a tape in and plug a bunch of instruments in and like m- pretty much have your own like mixing board. And
Let's
so
go, Dad.
yeah, dad,
Let's go.
man, he was such a supporter with the music.
That's
And
awesome.
so we like wrote 2 terrible songs and like put them on tape. And then like I was like 14, 15 years old, just like listening to like
No
my
way.
tape on my radio, just like sliding the tape in. And I'm just like, this is my song. Like I did this. And then I steered away from it, got into skateboarding, but I came back. Let's see, 2017, I went to my first music festival,
Okay.
Okeechobee,
Cool.
and I was pretty into rap at the time. Like I was
I
all
love how you incorporate some
hip
rap.
hop. Yeah, I love me some
Yes.
hip hop. I love me
So
some rap,
good. So good.
and yeah, anything that just makes me feel gangster. Like I'm just like,
Right?
yeah, this is a vibe.
I
Like
know.
I like this.
On the way over here, I was listening to you. I was like, let's fucking go.
Let's go, yeah. And I'm trying to think if what I heard in 2017 that really, I think I saw Snails, which they're not even like big on my list now. Still, all respect to
But-
Smalls. But yeah, I saw him, and it was like my first time, and I was just like, oh, this was like my first heavy dubstep show. People are raging, and I went straight from that to Pretty Lights, and like I saw Pretty Lights, and I was just like, this is amazing. And then I got all my friends, because I didn't really go with my friends in 2017. I went with people I didn't really know, so I only had like the connection with myself. I didn't have the connection with my
Same.
friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and then 2018, I convinced my best friends to go, like my jiu-jitsu friends. And
Good.
man, we were all about it. Like,
It's a whole new world,
yeah,
isn't it?
for sure. And so when I went there in 2018, we all just were like talking, like, what are they doing up there? Like, and we figured out that they're not actually making all the music up there. They're DJing.
Yes.
I didn't realize that till about 2018.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
They don't-
Like, they're just playing the songs and mixing them together and equalizing them and, yeah, doing their thing. So I found an app on my phone right after that. And we would just get this app on our phone, just have like two little turntable that you just like load up a song here, and we would just like sit in my buddy's room, and like I'd play 2 songs, then I'd pass the phone to
Let's
him, and he'd play
go.
2 songs. And then like at this old shop I worked at, I would like go to the bathroom, and I'd just be like working on a little mix. And so yeah, and then I would like record it, and I'd put it on my YouTube channel, and like just mixing off my phone. Just so passionate about mixing off my phone. And
I love that you say that, because I actually started on GarageBand. So
oh, beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
on the iPad, I was like,
Let me
I
make
like-
some beats.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like putting puzzles together and stuff. So I was just playing with all the
But
things. on
yeah,
there.
you probably GarageBand where you just like putting loops together and stuff, and like
Yes.
making songs. That's awesome.
Yes,
Heck
I was
yeah.
like, wow, this is a tool, because I could never afford classes to be taught, and,
Right.
and I could never, and music wasn't really a thing or a part of my culture growing up. So when I came to Nashville, man, it was like cliff diving almost into the deep abyss of
Just talented
beauty.
people.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, and even each day in Nashville, it's like, wow, who am I going to meet today? What sound am I going to hear today?
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very driven. Is that how it is back at home? What's it like for you back at home?
There's a small scene, but Evansville is kind of boring. So it's a very working class city.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people hate Evansville. Like, a lot of people that are from there, a lot of people like to hate on their hometown. I enjoy it because there's not a lot to do. So everyone just works and is passionate about something. And so we just have like Evolve is what put me on. Guy by Mitch Giles and Jesse Scarborough, and they started playing EDM shows. Like after I got back from the festival, I saw EDM shows were popping off at my local bars, and I'm just like, heck yeah, like this is what I
Hey, I
wanted.
might fit in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'd go and we'd just rage at these like local shows, and yeah, we like started building a scene there. And then I just practiced on my phone. Like one day I'm gonna be up there. And then I went to a buddy's house that had a board, and I'm like, hey, I made a set on my phone. It's 60 minutes long. Can I download all these songs on your computer and put them on a flash drive and practice on your board? And he's like, sure. And then eventually I got my own board, and I think I got my own board and played my first show like the next month.
Dang.
But yeah,
What age was that, do you think?
let's see. So 2018. I've been DJing for 4 years now.
Nice,
So
nice.
probably yeah, so 4 years ago.
So how do you feel like because each board is different, right?
Yeah.
And it's definitely the starter packs compared to the festival decks are completely
yeah,
different, you know?
For sure.
So for me after the wreck, like I had post-concussion and it affects your memory, and I had to relearn all of the different ways to mix it in, right? And all the channels and all that stuff. And I got up there and I was like, this looks way different than mine, because I was just mixing on the ones and twos, and then you go into the threes and fours, right?
Right.
So how for our listeners, how can you provide some tips just to like prepare them for any
For the CDJs.
Yeah, for the CDJs,
Yeah.
for that,
I was blessed
Battle.
with the first board I got was a Pioneer RX2, which is damn near similar to the CDJs.
Hell yeah.
Like if you look at the Pioneer RX2, and where the controls are, it is so similar to CDJ. So I remember the first time I played a show in Muncie, and they had CDJs, and like people were like making these guys move their CDJs to like put their like small little board up there because they were too uncomfortable to play on the CDJs. And I just
Yes.
remember seeing that, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that.
They don't get it though, because
Yeah.
they get intimidated. So I am actually guilty of this.
You're like, I'm playing on my board.
I will be with one. So actually, me and I call him Smiley. I know he's known as Beanie in the jam world, but he will always be my Smiley in the bass world. So me and Matt Smiley went on a show together to go play in California in the Mojave Desert, and I brought my whole bundle out there. I brought the XDJs out there. And I had the equipment, and do you know how much of a pain it was to fly with some decks in a hard case
You're like,
across country? And it was my second show, and I'm like, nobody told me I could just roll up within the USB and just plug in. So guys, just when you have the formula or the secret formula, or you know how to mix, you can just plug in your USB and then you can be comfortable on any board. But some of those things are different how they feed in the channels, right?
Yeah, I would always recommend asking the promoter, what are we playing on? Go to YouTube, type in that. I still do it to this day. Like
You have to, yeah.
I'm just like, let me see. And there's always a guy breaking it down. Here's where this is. And I just get, because I also plan my sets. So, like, my sets are planned front to back. I know how every transition's going to go.
I love that you say that. I hate when people say they don't plan their sets. I'm like, what are you doing?
Freestyle home or freestyle on some open decks. But, like, I want to curate an experience.
Exactly.
And I would rather me know exactly how the set's going to go.
Right.
So, yeah, I like to plan my sets. But also, like, I want no surprises up there. Because I want to be able to dance. I want to be able to move around. And if I'm up there, like, just if I get focused on the board, my dancing is gonna stop, and you're just gonna see me staring at the board.
Right, and then they get into that energy, and then they lose focus on the music itself, and
like
then
looking at what you're doing,
collapsing downfall. Right?
Yeah, I would rather like be able to close my eyes and know how to do these transitions, and have all my energy to like go hard with the crowd. Like,
so that takes obviously practice,
practice,
right?
preparation. I'm a big write stuff down on a piece of paper guy. So like every day I just like writing down what I want to do for the day, and then I like take another piece of paper and I'll make it more organized than that one, and like
good. Yeah. Each day we get better. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And I do the same thing when I'm DJing a show. Like I'm like, okay, I'm DJing the show, my set list, what am I gonna pack? What board am I gonna be on? Where's the venue? What time should I get there? Like
what's going on?
Yeah, I'm crossing all my T's and dotting all my I's.
Yes.
Like, I'm a nervous guy, so I just want to eliminate as many of those as I can.
I think you're more of a genuine guy, and you kind of just know what's going on, and you like to keep track of that.
Well, see me before a set, and you'll see that I'm a nervous guy. I will be pacing like an animal before my show tonight.
Well, tonight, yes, you're playing at the end.
Yeah,
and,
never been there.
You've never been?
No.
Oh, I love it.
It's
I love
cool?
It. Yes,
Nice.
It's cool. I've been quite often. I love it.
Hell yeah.
The stage is
you
cool.
coming tonight?
Of course I'm
Let's
coming
go.
to. Only
Let's
for
go.
you, my friend.
Heck yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so tonight will be fun. Do you have any pre-show rituals you like to do to get in that mindset, or just to
Pace around. I used to fight.
I used to dry heave just for 30 minutes on the side.
Nice.
I get stage fright so bad. So bad. Matt would be like talking to everybody and like, and then like, is this
Wait,
okay?
make that sound again.
We try to make it cute, guys. Give it some zest, everyone. Yeah, man. So is there anything that like, have you ever had a moment too where you're just, how do you beat stage fright is what I'm trying to say.
So I used to fight MMA, which is so much scarier than going out to a gig because the guy's about to try to kick you in the head. And so before that, I used to pace around, jump around, shadow box, and just try to feel as badass as possible.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that has not stopped. Before a DJ set, you will see me pacing around, jumping around, shadow boxing.
Ready to play.
Yeah.
You're ready to do the game.
Yeah. I like to move around and get going, hype myself up. If I'm around people, I won't say stuff. But if I'm not around people, I'll just be like talking to myself. I'll just like, you got this. Like, you've done everything. Like, you killed it. Like there's no reason why you shouldn't crush tonight. I like to also check my flash drive beforehand. Like,
smart.
Because that's my number one thing. I'm like, I know everything's gonna go well as long as my flash
There's
drive
nothing
works.
worse than getting up there and the USB failing in front of. Yes.
I don't think I've ever had it happen yet.
Oh,
I've
God bless you.
definitely plugged it in and it didn't work, and I'm like, oh, and then like I wiggled it a little bit, and then it worked.
Oh, Jesus. The
Yeah, and I'm
angels bless
just,
them.
oh, like, man, what is going on?
It's like your dignity all in one little piece.
Actually, my first show at 404, I brought my own board, and I plugged into the XDJ, and I had like this special flash drive that I formatted myself, and it worked on every board but the XDJ.
Of course.
And I put it in there during open decks, and it didn't work, and I'm like, oh no, my set. Like,
Yo, actually, those decks at Forward, do you remember one side didn't work?
yeah, one side didn't work,
And I remember.
and they don't tell you
I
that.
remember Paula was like, oh, I'm so sorry, they're not working. I'm like,
Yeah, it's rough.
So yeah, that was a learning experience. But honestly, I think that going against some of those things when we first started really made way to where we are today.
Oh yeah,
You know, and can
having some
make it-
obstacles.
Yeah, you can't see the view without going through the valley, I guess.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I've definitely been through some valleys. You
Oh.
know, just playing open. I've played open decks a bunch in my hometown, open decks in other town, just mixing with people that aren't exactly mixed with people friendly, where they're not really setting you up. They're
Yeah,
just trying
they're
to
just
do their
trying to
own thing,
put
and then
themselves
like,
on, yeah.
and then you get to it. There's 10 seconds left in the song. They're like, "Good luck," and you're like, "Oh crap!" Like,
Yeah.
love that stuff. Like that
Love
stuff is like what like made me now where I'm just like I got little tricks to like get out of situations, and I'm like, thank Lord I bombed in front of 10 people. That way I can not bomb in front of hundreds of
Yes.
people.
And
Like,
honestly, everyone, you're going to bomb if you start DJing or you start music or you start riding a bike.
Yeah.
You're going to fall off and you can get back on. And that's just a part of also just making sure that your mindset is right, because it can be really easy to downfall or downplay yourself, right? Like you told me earlier, you've only been in music for like 3 years, but you've literally been doing it a really big part of your life.
yeah, I would say the hours I put in are equivalent to some people that have been in it for longer. Like I did it every day. Like,
Yeah.
so I've been in it for 3 years, but that's like 7 days a week, hours a day. When I have the kiddo, it's less hours. When I don't have the kiddo, I go crazy and I just produce all day after work. But yeah, I always fit that time in, sacrifice some sleep sometimes,
You have
and
to.
just, yeah, I really put in the hours, and I really had the right people around me that were feedbacking my tracks, giving me advice like, hey, here's something that's going to save you months.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, thank you.
Yes.
Like, that helps a
right?
lot.
Hours of researching and stuff, the tips and everything.
Yeah, because if you get someone better that's already been through the shit, they can help you avoid
Guide
all
you.
of that. Yeah. So I've had a lot of those, like, a lot of good people. I was in a Discord group when I first started that just ripped my tracks to pieces when I first started. And it was hard for me,
Yeah.
but it was good. It leapfrogged me
It helped you grow,
years in
right?
my production.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say I steered away from that now. Like, I don't think getting feedback, once you kind of figure out what you want to do, I don't think getting feedback from 30 different people is necessarily a good thing. I think if you try to sound like, if you take advice from 30 different people, your song's going to sound like it was made by 30 different people and not by you.
I love that you say that. Honestly, that's absolutely correct. And if I had listened to the 30 people that told me that I would, don't work in music, don't do this, don't do that,
Yeah.
you would never, it's just a constant setback. So honestly, you really have to be confident in what you're creating.
Yeah.
And that artistic passion for it to make it authentic and make it yours. And that's what I think that you do exceedingly.
Thank you.
In the bass community. And
You gotta be like confident enough to know that, like, okay, what I'm doing is, you gotta know when to be confident, you gotta know when to be humble.
absolutely.
When I first started, I was all humble. I'm like, I suck. Tell me what to do. Please give me all the advice you want. When I started like releasing songs and realizing that people liked them, I gained some confidence, but also not too much to where I wouldn't listen to advice. And I still have people feedback my tracks, but not as many people.
Yeah, it's like you have to take the feedback because criticism helps you grow, but also, creating that safe boundary within yourself that you're still expressing yourself fully and authentically without somebody else's pressure or input changing your sound or your design or your market
Right.
or your performance, anything like that. Because with the industry we're in, we have a lot of people that are passionate about everything that they do. They feel like they need it a certain ways. You know, we are like that. We're OCD.
Yeah.
I want everything, you know, like that's who we are. So it gets really hard when people can't really communicate about that, or, you know, so it really takes someone special to put together a show and a
Yeah.
performance, and you do it every time.
Thanks. I really do spend a lot of time on my mixes. Like, I know a lot of people will like, oh, I got a show this week. Let me throw some songs in a playlist. And I start with throwing the songs in a playlist, but then I like curate them, and then I practice them, and then I record the mix, and then I go back to work and I listen to it, and I listen to where like I become uninterested. If there's if there's ever any time in a mix that I want to fast forward it, I'm like, okay, I should probably
Just keep it out.
yeah, I should probably keep it out. I should probably switch the songs. I should probably change it here. And I'll leave, like, if you look at any of my private songs on SoundCloud, they are full of my comments. Like, I'm just like, oh, should probably do this
You have
here.
so many unreleased fat IDs.
Oh, thank you.
That's where I'm like, the world doesn't even know.
Yeah,
It's
we're getting
what's
there.
coming for you, man.
Yeah, I got an unreleased
BROKAW is gonna
EP.
get you.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I got an unreleased EP that I have in the works right now. I think it's some of my best stuff, but I really want to nail
I
the
believe
mix
it.
down
I believe
on
it.
everything. And
Do you have an idea what you're going to call it yet?
I have a couple ideas. I don't want to say the name yet just in case I decide to switch
Yeah, I
it,
feel
but
you.
I will say it's all about love and heartbreak, and like, because each song is about like relationship stuff, and like,
Good.
yeah,
Real shit.
every single one of my EPs, I try to have like a theme. Like, my life was just like a very swaggy, like, I'm the shit, like, this is what I do. My demise was really like, I'm sad, I'm depressed, like, I'm going through it. Approaching tranquility was like, I'm finding myself, like, I'm getting there. And then
The flows of life.
and then yeah, I'm gonna take a little side quest on this one and talk about like the relationship
We're gonna
side
get
of
romantic
things.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
so
Yeah.
just like talking about, like, I guess for me it'd be girls, but like just relationships in general, like the emotions you go through.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's 3 songs as of now, but all the songs are like based around that idea.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
think, honestly, the audience wants to see that. We want to be let into what Corey Brokaw has, you
Thanks.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you for putting that EP together. We're excited
Yeah,
to
I'll
hear
send it to you actually.
Please do.
Yeah, I got you.
Zest family, please go listen to that as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
We'll link it in the comments for you guys to check it out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So, what in the future is set for Brokaw?
Oh man.
What festival? Let me. What festival would you? What is your dream festival that you want to play? Let's go ahead and manifest this so
Yeah.
that it can happen. I have it on record.
Main stage of Soundhaven
Oh yeah.
is a big one for me. Like,
Alright.
I want to have my whole customized visual experience with
deserve it.
songbird visuals.
Yes.
And I want to have a personal VJ, which I already do, but like, I want him to be like involved. I want him to be there. I want everything to be like curated. I want the mix to be mostly me, and then just a few tracks from artists I really admire. Let's see. Bonnaroo would be cool. I've been there a couple times. My first ever festival with Okeechobee.
I gotta go to Okeechobee. I haven't been.
I haven't been since 2018 because it's hard for me to get out now that I have a kiddo anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd love to go back to Okeechobee if they do it
When
again.
we go next year, we'll try to plan it.
Yeah. Try to drag me out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get sickish, everybody. Let's
Yeah, that'd be
go
awesome.
pitch a tent, guys.
Yeah, let's see if there's another one. ConFest would be amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I love a con. And you played Soundhaven this past year.
Yeah,
So
what an
how was
experience.
that? Yeah.
Oh man, it couldn't have went any better, honestly.
It looked like it. It
Yeah,
looked
I
so fun.
remember I planned that set really well. For the first time ever, I took every track, put it into Ableton, and like looked at like the LUFS, which is the volume
Mm-hmm.
of the tracks, and I made sure there was no volume differences. I downloaded the top format of every song. I really just,
On point.
I tried my best. I practiced it like 6 times. Felt insecure about it. Felt good about it. Felt insecure about it. And then I remember my set was on Sunday, so I had the whole festival of just partying, hanging with the friends. And I remember Sunday morning I woke up and I'm just like, I don't think I want to do this. You know, just the self-doubt setting in. I'm like, I don't think I
Yes.
want to do this. I'm so tired. Like,
What if I mess up? It's
yeah,
not gonna
my
make sense.
stomach hurts. So like, I'm like, man, this. So I literally slept up until, I think I played at like 4 or 5. I slept up until like 20 minutes before my set. Someone woke me up and it was
Like
like,
4:50.
it was like, hey, you gotta play in like 20 minutes. I'm like, I know, I got an alarm set. Like, I'm going. And I roll up there tired, and I'm just thinking like, I don't think this is gonna be the one. Like, and I went
I
up
feel
there.
like that every time.
Yeah, I went up there, and the second I hit play on my first song, it was Where They At. It was unreleased at the time, and I think it's one of my most popular songs I have out.
Yep.
But the crowd went absolutely nuts for the drop when it hit, and then I had a Soundhaven remix for that, where like at the beginning, it, like gave Soundhaven a shout out. It had like all these like crazy like sounds, and the set was perfectly curated. Like I had friends that were there, and they're like for example, they're like, you got to play Gucci flip flops. If you play Gucci flip flops, that'd be great. And I'm like, I'm definitely not playing that, but I put it in there without telling them, and I just
really?
like I made
Pull one on 'em.
I made a
Oh,
remix of
good.
it, and then.
I love that.
I just like looked at their faces when I'm like, as soon as Gucci flip flop hit, I'm like, I looked at them and they're just like, this is,
We love you.
yeah. So it was, everything
what
went
it's all
so
about.
perfect. And that was the first time I ever felt like a rock star, where the rest of the day I walked around and they're just like, Brokaw. And I'm just like, this is
Is
so
your life?
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had to bring my friend to a med tent because she twisted her ankle. And I got to
Aw.
the med tent and these girls were like, and they're like struggling.
Are
And
you
then
Brokaw?
they looked like, Brokaw, you're the reason we're in here. And I'm just like, this is amazing. I'm like, I'm sorry I put you in here. She's like, no, it was great. It was just, we got really hot.
Oh,
and I'm just like, I feel
yes.
you.
Those feet were grooving and moving.
It was
man.
cool, man. Like a golf cart rolling by, and then there was like a chick sitting on the back. She's like, and I'm like, man, cool. And it was a side stage. I wasn't even like on the main stage or anything, but the vibe was so cool because it's like, you like walk down a hill and it's like surrounded by trees. Soundhaven just knocks it out of the park every
Yeah,
year.
honestly, the side stages are some of my favorites, man.
And
They're such a
they
vibe.
killed it with that. Like they had hennies for the sound system. There was no like seats or like in, I guess there's not usually seats. There was no grass or good place to sit.
Mm-hmm.
So no one was sitting.
Good.
And it was crazy.
Poppin'.
Yeah, it's
Hell
definitely that memory will never leave me for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Speaking of a Soundhaven memory, I'm going to let you in on a funny one. When me and Matt played, we were doing the opening. I think we were the first ones to play, basically
Yeah.
on the stage, and we went to get our artist passes, and they only had one for Matt, and I had to convince them that I was a part of the band.
That's funny. Like, please.
Like, man, I play in 5 minutes. Can I just get a wristband? I promise I'm not like a groupie.
Yeah. Hold on.
So yeah, super fun though. But I love that set. And actually, I was sweating so bad when I
Every
got
time.
off. Like, oh my gosh, playing those sets in the summer is intensity.
Oh, I sweat every time I play just because I'm so nervous beforehand that I let all that nervous energy out. And then by the time I leave, I'm sweating. People like go to hug me. I'm like, don't hug me.
Well, your energy
Like,
on
knuckle
stage
bounce.
is insane, and you're jumping around, and like you're just so hype, and your whole energy as a person is insanely
Well, thank
beautiful.
you.
Yeah, and it's energetic and it's hype, and I think that when you get off, like, do you feel like, oh man, that was just
I'm like, I did it.
yeah, you did.
I did it. Like, anytime I have a big moment, I'll know a big moment's coming. There'll be the build up, and then I do the thing, and it's almost like I don't know, like snap into like a different person where I'm just like, it's go time. Like all the nerves are gone. It's time. And then when I get done, I'm just like, what was that?
Yeah,
like
what was that?
That was amazing. Like,
I love that.
yeah, there's only like a couple sets where I've been like, and I don't want to say in the moment, because like it was in the moment in a bad way where I was just like, okay, this, and there's only been like 2 sets like that, and those were like my least favorite sets. Like my favorite sets are where I can't remember them almost. I'm just like,
You're just like
I'm like, all I remember is that I was
spiritually taken over by
I was losing my shit. Like, yeah, so
it's a really cool experience having that on stage with your craft, and it's really
Yeah.
hard to describe. I'm with you on that.
for sure.
And actually, like, one feeling I do want to point out with the electronic scene that I love is like that was the first time I felt I was accepted, or like I felt that people understood me for me, right?
Yeah.
Because you're engaging on that level of just spirituality and love, and it's just it takes you back, and for me it really was like, oh, this is what connection of people should be like. And
Yeah.
like, just being there and supportive together. And I wish that it could share more among our people,
Yeah.
because I think we have such great values, and I'm really happy seeing the EDM community grow even more and expanding even more to
Yes.
mainstream now. It's almost like we're getting out of the underground, man.
Excision songs playing at hockey games and like Skrillex songs being played at like basketball games. It's like, it's crazy. Like I love
You're
seeing.
gonna be right there with it, man. Are you ready for that?
No, I'm not. We're gonna keep doing the damn thing, and we'll see. Like I don't have any expectations. I have goals that I set for myself, but at the end of the day, like I'm very like happy with some of the things that have happened. Like there's like
That's
a
all
few
that matters.
things that I just have in my head where I'm like, if everything fails tomorrow and I have to, like, I'm out of the scene, I will be so happy with like these things that happen. I'm like,
Don't make me
appreciate
cry
this,
now.
appreciate this,
Don't make me cry.
I'll try not to.
Well, honestly, I'm really excited to see you continue on.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
And hear the new music, and I really just wanted to highlight you because you really are such a beautiful spirit, and you can hear that within your tracks
Thanks.
and your production style. And is there anything that you can give a new coming bass DJ or someone, because for me the bass world was actually very they love to critique who's coming in, right?
Oh yeah.
And they're very protective of their things, and as they should be. Some people, as we know, can get a little crazy.
Oh yeah.
So what can you tell the person that's thinking about starting as a bass DJ?
I would say work hard. Well, number one, out of everything, is have fun. Like if you're not having fun with it, then go do something that you have fun with.
Right.
But number one, have fun. Number two is as you get in, there are going to be gatekeepers. There's going to be people that you admire that don't think much of you. It kind of hurts. You're just like, man, I wish this person would like see that I'm really trying.
And then you make them see.
Yeah,
right?
I would say don't even like look at that. I would just, because they will see, but it's when you're not trying.
Exactly.
Like,
Yes,
don't seek the
yes.
validation because
You'll
you'll
get
get
if
the
you just
validation
try.
from the people like that matter when it's time.
Yeah.
Like so, I got like I remember I was just thinking about like, oh, alarm going off, my bad. But
I'm gonna kick you out of here.
yeah, you should. But yeah, I just remember seeking validation from people that I admired, and I'm just like, man, like I guess they just don't think much of me. And it was just like people kind of on my level. And then one of my biggest idols played my track out live like a week later, and I just remembered thinking like, man, you got to chill like with trying to seek validation from people.
Yeah.
Like you got, just keep doing your thing.
Because you're cool, just being you.
Yeah, just do your thing, and everything's going to come when it comes. There are going to be people that critique you. The bigger you get, there's going to be bigger critiques. And the better you do, the more nitpicky those critiques are going to be.
Yes, the
Like,
higher you get, the more the audience, the bigger it becomes, but that also, brings more opinions.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I definitely would say don't seek validation. Do it for the fun of it. Do your thing. And yeah, that would be the biggest thing is don't seek validation from anybody.
And one thing I do want to highlight before we set sail off to your extravaganza, with you being a dad, and I'm so proud of you for being a musician and a dad full time, basically.
Yeah, dad number one.
Oh my gosh, you do such a cool job. And I feel like, a lot of people, with it being, their career path or their families or things like that, something can always try to hold you back from doing what you actually want.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't let that affect you. And you actually have made Aries a part of your world, and it's been beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, and you've probably inspired him more in ways that you have no idea about yet.
Yeah, it was funny. I was playing a song the other day, and he's like, "This your song?" And I'm like, I'm like, I just thought I was annoying you while you were trying to watch SpongeBob, but I guess you recognize.
Yes, he recognizes. Of course he does it, just like we all do.
Yeah.
And they all will. So yeah, I want to see, if there's any secrets to that, maintaining your strength through that. Obviously, you're a wrestler and you do all these power moves and you know how to hold down the fort.
Hmm.
So what can you pass along in controlling that?
I don't know. I would always say, um, be a dad first. Like, that's always my number one thing. Like, the music can always wait. Like,
That's really
so
sweet.
I always, if Aries is watching SpongeBob and I'm working on a song, I put the song down. I go sit on the couch and watch some SpongeBob. Um, if Aries is over, I'll save the music for a day he's not over. We'll go skateboarding together. We'll go do something together. I'll wait for his bedtime to go produce some music. I do think it's going to be a struggle. I'm not a touring DJ yet or a touring producer yet, so I don't know.
Kind of
I do it on the weekend because I still got a full-time
a
job,
weekend
a
warrior.
weekend warrior.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could do it, honestly. Like, I don't think I could go a week or two without seeing him.
Hmm.
So I think I'm just gonna have to be one of those guys where it's like, when you get me, you get me. Because my priority is
Is being,
dad,
yeah.
health, and I guess health and dad go because I got to be healthy to be a good dad, and then music and martial arts is like second. So yeah, I guess that would be the main thing is if
Keeping
you,
it rare.
yeah, if you're a dad, that you're a dad, like, or you're a parent, I guess I should say, then that's number one. Like, if the music can wait, like, you know, I definitely have had to find that balance where I've just like had Aries like watching SpongeBob while I produce songs for hours, and I just like see him over there like hooked to the TV, and I'm like, I gotta get off. Like, me and you gotta go
We gotta
outside.
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta go hit the skate park. The music can wait.
Good.
SpongeBob can wait.
Yeah.
Like,
And then it all
yeah,
pays off, and
right, exactly,
that's
exactly.
awesome. You're teaching him the right ways. And honestly, yeah, keeping those priorities in line can honestly shape the future ahead
Yeah,
and gives you that stamina to keep going. So I don't want you to feel weird about not being that touring artist, because you can still do that, and it all maybe will pave out the same way, because the big hitters, they like to keep it rare and they come out when they
that's
need
kind of
to.
how I think it's gonna have to be.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna be able to be the guy that's coming on the tour bus every week or hitting flights from here to here Monday through Friday, because I need at least I need at least 50% of my week to be with my boy. And
Well, putting your health first too is definitely important in this
yeah,
game. And I like that you pointed that out, because you can't perform unless you sleep.
yeah, unless you sleep healthy, like you get outside. Man, sorry about the alarm.
You're good.
I have way too many alarms on my phone for some reason. Like,
You're
ones that don't
good.
even make sense. But yeah, so
No worries.
I definitely would say like sleep and just getting out there and like getting off the computer chair for a little bit is key. Like, you definitely want to yeah, just see the world a little bit, and that way you have more inspiration to bring back to your music. If you're just always on the computer chair, what are you gonna write music about? Being on the
That's true. The
computer chair?
feeling, not the relationships and
Yeah,
stuff. You're putting your whole heart into it.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it and continue on. And
Heck yeah, thank
I
you.
want to thank you for being here today
Of course, of
and
course.
doing this amazing episode 2
So much fun.
of Zest Radio. And I guess we will see you on tour tonight, or the
Yeah,
show tonight.
yeah, show tonight. Let's
And
go.
new tunes in the future. So,
Yeah.
and
We got one.
Yeah, this June you will hear Sandstorm, which actually is a very emotional track for me, and I'm really
Yeah.
happy that.
You sent it over to me, and I'm like, girl, this thing's almost done already. I don't know what to do. I had to like sit and listen to that track for a solid like 30 minutes before I could even touch it. I'm just like, what can I even add? And then I finally got some ideas, sparked them up, added to it, and now we're just in the mix down process, and we're about to.
It's crazy, man. It's
Yeah.
actually one of the last tracks that I showed my homie before he passed,
Oh, really?
and he loved it. And
That's beautiful.
it-
Yeah, it's a super emotional song.
yes, and the fact that I can have you do it after all these years past 404, and we're coming together. I haven't seen you in 2 years, and
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful connection to have. And I'm really happy that one, I get to have your expertise on a track. You're an insane producer.
Oh, thank you.
And
Yeah, sorry I'm nitpicking it so hard.
You
Like
should be.
I'm like, we got to get on a Discord call. We're gonna mix this thing down together.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah,
It's
we
so good.
can't wait to get on the Discord call with you too. That'll be fun to produce together, actually live.
We should create just a Discord channel for producers.
Yeah.
probably.
Oh, I have one.
Maybe. Okay, I'll join in.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called the Dojo. If hit me up on
Nice.
Facebook. It's open to everyone. Any producer that joins, I give them their own channel where they can drop whips. And I got
Amazing.
like a event section. I got a
What?
promotion section, and then also I produce live on there where you can just watch me live produce.
Okay, great.
times.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Get
Let's
involved
go,
with the
let's go.
dojo.
Come on.
We be fighting.
I love it. I love it. All right, mate. Well, we're going to get ready for the show tonight, and we're going to wrap it up here on our episode 2. Thank you guys for tuning in, and please be sure to check out BROKAW in the future and show them some love, support, and BROKAW, keep doing your thing.
Thank you. It was so good sitting with you.
We'll keep being big fans always.
Heck yeah. Big fan of you.
Oh, thank you, mate.
Yeah.
And we'll keep doing our things for years to come. So you
Hell
guys
yeah.
keep your eyes out and be sure to tune in. And we'll see you next time, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you.